the years, we have talked a lot about roles in Mythic Plus. As the tank main and somebody who has grown a community with a lot of tanks, this often falls on us talking about the healer or especially the DPS causing havoc in keys and especially in low keys, seeing repeatable, almost stereotypical mistakes being made from that role. But when we get the opportunity to review tank footage like this, the entire conversation gets flipped on its head, because typically you would assume that a stable tank is the spearhead of the group and everything that happens behind his actions. In this key that you're going to see today is the complete opposite, and it is actually crazy to think about. I've never really experienced this because as I play the tank, I don't ever do these things and they don't then devolve into this chaos it is. But it actually really makes me wonder if there are people out there as tanks playing this way and how they are actually able to progress like this. Let's take a look at this footage. In this footage, you are going to see players just overcomplicating their own lives. That's pretty much the best way I could put it. And it's all going to be the tank. It's all going to come through the tank here. As we're starting the dungeon, right, the guy does a countdown, pull in 6 seconds. And as he does, he links this. We got to pause this just to take a look at the name, right? Look at the speech bubble on the screen. Siege of Borealis, Titles MDI 2016 Giga. I don't know if this is a troll. Like, why is it named this? I don't know. 2016? What is that referring to? But yeah, linking a route. Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, people like to do that, right? I don't know why it's named that way, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Linking it as you do the countdown, though, probably not the right time to do that. Anyway, then we see it's a 4. We're talking about a Mythic plus 4 this guy's linking a route for. Then he does that. You might have missed it. Let's take a look at this. Also, really bad transmog. Like, I don't know. Just take a look at the guy's transmog. We'll come back to that maybe later. But so he's going to pull this first pack. This pull is like, yeah, relatively dangerous, I think, for a first pack, but it's pretty stable. And then he just heroic leaps up to those trash mobs up there, one of which is a caster. So it's just going to like sit up there and cast the whole time. We do Bloodlust, but look at, he just leaves. Look at, he's just leaving. He's just going, like, everybody's leaving, actually. It's not just him. They're just going to walk away. That mob's just still back there full health. Like, nobody's even attacking. This cracks me up. That mom's just, they just pulled trash, and the mom's just, he's just back there. It's like, hey, you know, I'm here, right? Like, you guys are dying, right? No worries. Full health, just right there, just standing next to the webcam. Okay. So we've been talking about actions, but in terms of why I'm making the video specifically, it's because of what's about to happen right now. Stuff like this. It's about the typing. There's a mob. It has a health pool. It is doing something to the group, right? And during this time, the guy types a fix. Really helpful. Yeah. Really great. I bet they'll attack it now. Now he's going to do this. Back to actions. He's going to pull both of these together. Probably not at the end of the world, right? Especially not in a 4. Might be a little bit more at the end of the world when he does then this. He then pulls all of that trash over there too. What is that? Like 20 some mobs now? Most of which are ranged. Like, he just pulled like 7 or 8 ranged mobs and none of them are anywhere close. Again, I get that it's a 4 and, you know, this stuff's mad easy, but yeah, I don't know about that, man. That's a little risky. And I don't know, is this on the route? Like, are people doing this? I don't really understand. Like, this behavior, you do see this at times from the tank role where they're super overzealous, where they have this like crazy big plan. And you would think, like, if you're playing the game and you're experiencing failure in this way, like, you would just alter that path, right? But that's the crazy part about this footage. It doesn't get altered. So the group starts talking about what actually happened, and he goes release. Like, if they think they're just gonna get res, like what these weird nonsense, like nothing comments are the things that make me scratch my head the most here. We can still time it, he goes. I'm it's just I don't even know what to comment on. Like, I really don't even know what to say here. What are we doing pulling all this trash? What is this plan? We're gonna be way over count here. Strange behavior to the point where this like level of overconfidence. I think this happens in the tank role every once in a while where like you're probably playing it because you've had some like failures of another role. Look at this, he's now stuck in the box. Anyway, you've had some failures in another role and you felt like you had like no control over them, but you deeply desire to be in control in your life and now in the game. So then when you go to tank, you are like wildly control freaking everybody else, right? Like, look at what we're doing here. He's now recommending we don't pull that trash, typing that in all caps, avoid mark, lust boss. We don't have lust up, bro. I don't really know, like, can you actually do this? Can you skip this? What do you do with the bomb? Somebody has to break them, right? Like, how do you not pull this trash? I don't really understand that. Those 2 bombs, you see them, they moved their webcam. So you see they're right there. They're right next to the trash. Like, what are you going to do about that? Those are just going to go off, aren't they? It's more stuff like this, like the emissary's out and he's just like constantly typing. It's like he's trying to like raid lead in a 4 through text, just commenting on everything. Everything needs a comment. Everything needs to be over strategized. Watch the mage here. Okay, there's nowhere to really for him to go. He's kind of backed into this 1/3 of the room here, so he's just going to get meleeed. Then the warrior is going to say res, like, oh, we have a dead teammate. Should we res? Oh, the guy instructed me to do so. Great tip. Now he's saying bomb. Get the bomb. And it's like, bro, you can't get the bomb. Look at this. Just gonna wipe to this nonsense. You left the trash. There's like, what are you supposed to do about this? I think, is this maybe supposed to be done with like a mind soothe or something like that? But now, okay, now he's like going back on his original strategy. He says, we just can clear that. The healer says, we can time it easy and you pull that bullshit, lol. Starting to get aggressive now already. As a response to that, he says, we have to kill the affix. Now pay attention to his frame. He is gonna die, and I think we can get a shot of this right here. We have to pause it on like the perfect frame to see it, but you're gonna see how this guy died. It may be familiar to those who watch my channel. Okay, you can see his name right here. I guess he's in the water. That's the only, I mean, just like in the previous video where the guy jumps off and ends up in the water. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna propose an alternative situation here. I bet this dude was typing. He typed, we have to kill the affix, and just ran off while auto-running. That's guaranteed what happened there, right? Then the healer comments, yeah, it's the affix 100%. We had just wiped the 2 bombs going out. The guy says, all right, whatever. We'll just clear it slow and time it. I mean, these deaths haven't even really hurt them yet. 14 deaths, but there's no death affix, so it's like not even a problem. He takes a minute to inspect him. He's not wearing an heirloom from BFA or anything like that in our previous conversations. But yeah, have a look at that transmog. I think some of that gear is transmogged, and he just hasn't transmogged the new pieces. Like I would say the shoulders and the boots are just the same piece that he has on, so they're not transmogged at all. Also in this footage, you're going to see something really crazy. Like I love how he put this wall of markers down. Like I don't know how long this took him, but it seems really, really funny to me that he created like a little barrier of markers. The guy says, we're back on track now. 59% cleared. Yes. 3 trash pulls without a wipe. We're back on track now. Great work. Then like clockwork, we do this. He's like going to go gather every mob. There's no way we need count right now, by the way. I don't have any idea what this guy is thinking about doing count-wise, but yeah, okay, everybody else is dead. The guy says, what the fuck is this bullshit? This dude is on the other fucking side of the river. He said, that's where we go. Sorry. It's getting real bad now. Look at the healer. He goes, bro, are you stupid as fuck? Can you not see the spotters shooting at us? His response is, I linked the route, and again links the Siege of Borealis Tettles route. I thought we cleared them. I'm sorry. He said the spotter is shooting us in the water because you didn't finish killing it. They get back up here and it's like, yeah, the mob is just actually bugged, I think, though. This is not normal, but it is obviously the tank's fault for trying to like pull it through the water here. Like, I don't even know what it's going to do now. It's just stuck down there, I think. You can see it on the left there. Casting a spell that's like not doing anything, and I don't even know that people could attack it right now. It's still alive. Like, it's not doing anything, I don't think. Or I guess it is doing the spotter, bombard or whatever at this point. But yet again, nobody's even touching it. Like, nobody even touches it. It's just over there doing stuff, and people are just like, I don't care what's going on with that. The tank says, should we get the spotter? And it's like, how do you get it? Like, it's stuck in the water now. He's like doing this dance around the pole here. Okay, he's able to auto attack it. People are able to get to it now. Kind of like walked up on top of the platform. There you go. It now snaps up here. Okay, good. Yeah, that was bad. I don't think I've ever seen something like that before, where the mob just gets like stuck in the water like that. Now watch how we stop this, right? You just have to get close to it. From what I can tell, the guy pops shield wall. That's shield wall, right? Just pops shield wall and just takes like 1 tick of that, heroic leaps in, and now it's gone. That's a great shield wall use. Watch the tank's character. He's just walking through bananas over and over again, and he's gonna throw his like heroic throw weapon at those mobs up there, and we're gonna fight that with the demolisher. The guy says, do you see percent? We are so over. He says, you are 20% over. The warrior then asks, do we have mass invis? I think that's the first time I've ever heard anybody comment on mass invis. This pack of all packs, I'm really shocked to hear him comment on this pack specifically. He recommends AoE stuns here. Very, very, another great tip from this guy. Unfortunately, the druid doesn't listen to this advice. Druid's just gonna get killed there, and then he's gonna instantly release, which is the right choice, honestly. Like 20 seconds later, the warrior notices that the druid is dead, so even though he's already released by the time he typed this, he says battle res druid. Okay. You may already imagine what's happening here, and I don't know if this is part of this whole route thing or what, but he pulling this left side first, and that's gonna be for a reason. Now, I've actually had somebody suggest this to me in like a higher key situation as well, and I assume this is what people are doing at like the top level, but doing this in a pug, especially in a 4, is is absolutely insanity. Like, this is just pure insanity. I don't care who thinks they're doing what. This is insanity. He is going to skip both packs. Okay, look at what he typed. He said, play it close to the statue, we won't pull. And yeah, you may be right, this may be true, but to do this in a pug, especially a 4, utter insanity, dude. You are really asking too much of people. Now we get a shot of the trash, and again he formed like these little walls with the markers, dude. I actually really like this. But yeah, look, so you can do it. That's a good instructional thing here anyway, because yeah, you can do it if you just stand on the actual statue. You do line of sight the wave, so it's actually, yeah, not that bad. I mean, it works. You even get some evidence of like how much wiggle room there is. You see how far he is actually from the statue. He's like a good 10 yards from the base of the statue, and that's not pulling anything. He's going to run around that same way too, not very close to the statue, and it doesn't pull anything either. It's very actually shocking that this trash doesn't pull, honestly. When you see this, you're thinking like, whoa, there's no way that this doesn't pull. Of course, while demonstrating the very good instructional piece of advice, he also doesn't do the mechanic properly, so he just gets hit by that. At this point, though, I have no idea what he's even doing. He's like moving this boss closer and closer to this trash over and over again. He's just gonna get too close to the trash. Like, I don't know why you would do that. You're the one who set this all up, and then you're the one who backpedaled into the trash. Kind of strange. The healer says, worst tank I've ever seen in a Mythic Plus ever. The warrior says, can we just clear it? That's an option, yes. The healer says, please never queue tank again. Do not make others suffer. Of course, like the low-key special here, we're gonna walk down here, just get hit by all the waves. Here comes watch the healer just getting smacked by those things. Healer's gonna be dead, and guess who's fighting the boss? Now, guess who's not fighting the boss anymore? He's now just sprinting away because he sees the healer is dead. His advice on, the guy dying to the swirls, he goes, be careful. Thank you very much for this. The healer says, stop talking. You are the worst tank in the world. So they have 29 deaths at this point. That's a really like sloppy number. I feel like we want to add 30 right there. Perfect. Excellent. Guy walks into a swirl, gets us at an even 30 deaths. Perfect. Watch it again. Here he goes. He's just going to walk towards the other enemies, and he's just going to literally walk right into his death. Pretty crazy to die to that on a forwards tank, but I'm actually shocked while he's dead, he's not typing more. Don't you think like this would be the perfect time to be typing? Like, why isn't he alerting them that the affix needs to die here? I'm really shocked that he's not telling them about the affix. Look at this comment though, dude. Can you res me, please? So he gets the res, and then the first thing he types is, HPS is a little low, but we manage with smaller pulls. Look at the healer immediately says, bro, shut the fuck up. So cautionary tale, don't be like this fella. As the tank, just don't overcomplicate the runs. If you're not doing like 12s at this point in the season, then you're just not in a position where you need to be like putting like 5 markers down to indicate walls where you can't walk next to trash. Please don't do this ever. Regardless of what actually transpired in this footage, that should just be the takeaway message. But there's a little bit more to it than that, and I just want to address that now and get out ahead of this. I looked up the warrior. I wanted to see his progress, okay? I noticed something when I did. He's in the same guild as the guy who submitted the key. A lot of his actions look like they're intentionally trolling at times. That's how absurd it is. But I reached out to the guy who sent me the footage, and this was his response when I asked him why he was highlighting a guy in his own guild. This was his response to me. I'm just going to put it on the screen because I don't want there to be any ambiguity here. This is what he responds with. He says, he's not really a friend of mine, but he is in the same guild. He mains a healer and decided to try tanking for the first time ever this season. He's really obsessed with WoW e-celebs and constantly posts stuff about titles, Dratnos, etc. in the guild Discord. Figured I would tag along in some of his keys to see how things go, but I can assure you he is not fucking around, because I was suggesting that he was doing this to either just be kind of trolly or maybe even just like, this key's below me, so I'm going to try wacky nonsense here, but he is assuring me that that is not the case. This is just his personality and how he is, and he says this was by far the most nightmarish dungeon we ran. Then he shows just a picture of within one day basically of him talking about Tettles over and over again. So I don't know, nothing against Tettles. I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know what that route is meant to be or why it's named that, if that's a real thing, but yeah, either way, if you just look at what's going on here and the fact that it is happening and transpiring in the key level, it's transpiring, it should be looked at as a cautionary tale. This is something to do when you have 4 other friends in Discord and you're saying like, hey man, look at what I just found out about, let's do it. Doing this in a pug is a sure way to fail. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you are out there running especially low keys and running into crazy moments, please consider recording them and sending them to me. Thank you for watching, guys. We will see you guys in the next video.